This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Yo, welcome to the show. Episode 2 of the new format. We're breaking down news, rants, voicemails, Smitty approved, speed Q&A, random topic. Let's go. 1 hour of action-packed fantasy football and NFL content. Breath. Let's roll. And I want you to right now go to my Instagram, The Fantasy Football Show. Drop your voice messages because we want my voicemails all piled up for that segment. So get to it now. Get in line, drop a voice message, and you know we're live every Monday through Friday now, 7 p.m. Eastern. Learn about it. News time. Let's roll.
And now for the news.
So we have 1 second here. We have some of the same news right here that we had yesterday. We didn't talk about it too much, so I want to delve into a little bit. We have Daniel Jones, Tony Pollard, Chris Carson, Tyreek Hill. Not a ton of like 2020 news to talk about other than McCaffrey and Jones and then Carson. But I wanted to dive into some of that. First, let's get to the relevant news to the playoffs and everything. And I want to say, appreciate all the notification gang. Gary first in the building, Mealy second, Rob, Big Dog, James, Stormcat, Tanner, Brandon, Dylan, Senior, Terry Roberts, RGB, all of the normal gang in here first. Appreciate you all being here. Tyreek Hill, this is good. This is crazy. If Tyreek Hill doesn't play this game, the Chiefs could get bumped out, right away. If Hill is not able to play, it says right here, NFL Network is reporting that they believe Tyreek Hill will be able to play the wild card round against the Steelers. I think he'll probably play, but this news has got progressively worse. He's okay. Now it's like we believe he can play. And I think when you hear stuff like that, usually teams are like, he's fine. To hear that at this stage in the game, I worry about him playing. And Tyreek Hill not in this offense, and they're vulnerable. So let's not assume that the Chiefs come out of this wild card round if Tyreek Hill isn't on the field. As for 2022 and beyond value for Tyreek Hill, he's kind of tough to rank because there are some nice young up and coming wide receivers you want to own. And guys like Jamar Chase, obviously Cooper Kupp. And then you get to a certain range of player where Tyreek Hill's sitting around like Debo, CeeDee Lamb, up and coming, Devontae Adams. Will he have A-Rod or will he not? And I can tell you right now, I do not believe he's going to have A-Rod throwing him the football. I think he's getting tagged. He's playing with Jordan Love. Do you put Diggs there, who came on late? Do you put A.J. Brown, who got hurt but looks like he's a beast? Like, you could argue Tyreek Hill anywhere from like 3 to like 7 or 8. And I know a lot of people might say, no, he's, you got to pick him 3 or 4, but he's inconsistent. And that's a solid group of wide receivers. That is a solid group. Look at this group of wide receivers. This is an insanely talented group of top 9 wide receivers walking into 2022 and beyond. I mean, we haven't seen a wide receiver group look like that in a while. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Debo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, and A.J. Brown. It makes you kind of want to go wide receiver in 2022. Does it not? Hit that like button, says Big Dog. Thank you, Big Dog. Steelers take him out, says Mealy. I mean, without Tyreek Hill, they could. They certainly could. Big Dog says Tyreek is no longer a dynasty top 5. I mean, I can get behind that, not because of me, crapping on Tyreek, but Chase, Jefferson, Kupp, even Kupp, he's older. but in Dynasty, he's top 5. 2 to 3 years is a long time. CeeDee Lamb, Debo, I mean, easily could argue. I mean, I'm showing you right here. I don't have Hill in the top 5. And it doesn't mean I don't like Hill. Doesn't mean Hill doesn't have a value because of this. I like Hill a lot because he's not falling in the top 5. Like, Hill as a second rounder looks pretty darn good. And walking into 2022, we're looking at second round value for Tyreek Hill, especially if he misses this game. The Chiefs get bumped out. What have you done for me lately? People will remember. What's the last thing you remember of Tyreek Hill? Oh, he had a little heel ouchie. He got his juice box and he went to the side. No, I'm kidding. The heel injury could be a big deal. I'm just saying that's how you're going to think about Tyreek Hill walking into your draft if Hill doesn't play. If Hill doesn't play and they lose, you're going to be sitting there going, where do I rank this guy? So I mean, this group here is all over the map. CD top 5. You bet your bottom dollar, Gary. You bet your bottom dollar, Gary. And Gary, I didn't think you were going to like that ranking anyway. Like that's the most you got. Normally, Gary, you've got a lot more of a problem with my rankings, but that's expected. JJ for sure. I like Hill Hill as well. Justin Jefferson over Tyreek. Yeah, Tanner. I mean, that shouldn't be that shocking, Tanner, because people are arguing JJ over Jamar Chase in a lot of cases. People go, you like I got JJ ahead of Jamar. I just can't do, like, of course I got him over Tyreek. Especially for Dynasty, you know, if we're talking Dynasty 2022 and beyond. I know, Gary, Gary, maybe it's because I'm so used to you just going nuts on my stuff, telling me I'm drunk. I think that's probably, Gary, where I get immediately think you're coming at my neck. Maybe because you say, Smitty, you're drunk all the time. Well, I'm on my live show, Gary. I'm actually drinking water, bro. I'm drinking water. I'm not drinking soda. I'm drinking water today. I'm trying to get healthy, Gary. What's up, Kenny Powers? Appreciate you being here today. Hill is inconsistent. Much rather have JJ and Chase. I agree. That's why my ranking set as such. We were on the same page. I would argue JJ number 1 overall if Thielen was gone and Cousins is still around. I think you want Thielen to stay Stormcat. Reason being is he's getting older. I don't think he's going to command as much attention in the coming years. You want him there. You want defenses not to be just keying on and doubling JJ. And Cousins has got it done. I mean, I agree. I kind of want somebody else throwing him the football. I'm not going to lie. We're on the news. What are we doing? So Tyreek Hill, that's going to be interesting. Tony Pollard, ready to roll for the team's wild card game against the Niners. They're going to need him because the Niners are good against the run, or they can be good against the run. So they're going to need a dual threat. I think Zeke looks better and better, to be honest. I mean, Zeke looks like, I don't think Zeke can ever put together 16, 17 games of being amazing anymore. He's dropping off, but I think he's putting together, piecing it together, gluing himself together, and he looks pretty sharp right now. And can he muster through the playoffs? Let's say they win one game. Let's say they beat the Niners. I know a lot of people are going to say no, but the Dallas D, they're playmakers, and you're playing Jimmy G. And I don't want to hear Jimmy G's the best. You were wrong about Trey Lance versus Jimmy G. Jimmy G put the Niners in that position to need to come back in the second half. Like, so let's not kid ourselves. Like, Jimmy G played amazing. I gave Jimmy G his flowers, his kudos, a pat on the back. I even said Shanahan called amazing plays in the second half. But Shanahan and Jimmy G both got them in that situation. They both got themselves out of it, you know, or you could say Debo did. Without Debo, there's no way that comeback happens, you know. But Shanahan and Jimmy, I'm tired of everybody just throwing away everything that happened the entire year and saying, oh yeah, Jimmy's the guy. Look, that Dallas D is going to give Jimmy potential nightmares, I think, unfortunately. And I'm pulling for the Niners. I truly am. I want the Niners to win this game. I've got a diehard Niner following through my Quad Box show. and I'm pulling for the Niners. But I've said from the beginning, Trey Lance starts the game, and I don't know about at this point, but I think if he came in, they'd be fine. But I think if Trey Lance was starting at this point, the Niners would be very scary in a 2-win playoff team. Right now, I don't think you can get past Dallas unless Jimmy G plays out of his mind, best game of his life, which is entirely possible. But that Dallas D makes plays. That Dallas D scores touchdowns. That Dallas D can pick six anything. So I worry about that. Chris Carson, it seems like the way they're talking about him, this could be coach speak, just being nice about the player, but Carson to be ready for training camp, that could just be being positive toward him. Look, we got Penny to talk about. Is Rashad Penny gonna emerge again in 2022 like he did at the end of 2021? It could happen. Daniel Jones, this could be coach speak as well, or this is Daniel Jones speak, but there are rumblings that the Giants might want to roll with Daniel Jones again next year. And I don't know any good quarterbacks that are going to want to go like A-Rod or Wilson go to New York. Maybe they trade for Deshaun Watson, but this is tough to imagine. And we'll have to get to Derek. We'll get to Christian McCaffrey in the random.
Time for a Smitty rant.
Here I am trying to do a new segment about Christian McCaffrey, and I run out of time again. Jamar Chase is a top 5 overall pick in 2022. I'm so sick and tired of the comments. I like him and I don't. I like him because it means people doubt him still somehow. Some way people are doubting this kid. I don't even get it. It doesn't even make sense. Why would you doubt a rookie wide receiver that finished number 5? That finished number 5 for all wide receivers. And the comments you get are so commonly this and that. They're so commonly Smitty. This is the one that I love. I love it. I love it, but it irritates me to no end.
Smitty, I'm not ranking Jamar Chase. I'm not doing it top 5 overall. With Higgins there, there's so much to go around. If Higgins is there and healthy, how could Jamar Chase be a top 5 overall pick? It just doesn't make sense, Smitty.
That's the most common answer that we get. That if Higgins is there, he can't do it. As if Joe Burrow won't get better. As if Joe Burrow won't create more production just by being Joe Burrow. Okay, this guy, if you take out a string of 4 games, and I'm not saying that you can do that because he did what he did, but if you look at next year and you go, okay, if you take out that string of 4 games where he had like 1 touchdown or even, I think, 0 in 1 game, but 1 touchdown games, you take out those 4 games in a row that were bulked and chunked together, and you extrapolate the rest of the data, he was over 42-something touchdowns. This guy's going to throw for 45-plus touchdowns. Joe Burrow. Where's Joe Burrow? Let me get Joe Burrow on screen here. Joe Burrow enters the chat. Joe Burrow enters the chat. Joe Burrow's going to throw for probably 5,000 yards. Give him 4,800 to 5,000 yards with 17 games. Forget about it, okay? Don't even try and argue against it. 4,800 to 5,000 yards. Joey B's going to drop in 2022. 42 to 47 touchdowns total because he might run a couple in. This man's going to have so much production to spread around. It's not going to matter if Higgins is on the roster still. Are you out of your minds? Like Joe Burrow doesn't have enough footballs to toss around. Joey B is going to make this man right here, Jamar Chase, into the number 1 wide receiver for 2022 and beyond. He is a top 5 overall player heading into 2022. You can at me all you want. He probably won't begin getting drafted around 5 overall because I can sense the negativity around this topic. This, you're drunk, Smitty? Or are you out of your mind? Is this a joke? Or I just don't think he can do better than he did this year. Okay, Bob from accounting. Good luck with the accounting in your company. That company's going down, bro. If you can't see, Bob, that this man, Jamar Chase, did all of this as a rookie, as he's learning. Does anybody really believe he won't get better? Does anybody really believe that Jamar Chase left everything on the table? Do people really believe you can finish as the number 5 fantasy football wide receiver as a rookie and not be better? Same thing with Justin Jefferson. People were like, oh, that season won't happen again. JJ's going to get better. Jamar Chase and JJ are up here. Everybody else is down here. This is the new tier, the new 1 and 2, the 2 wide receivers you draft in round 1 when you go wide receiver in round 1, and the 1 wide receiver right here that has protected in value by Joey B. I like JJ. You guys know I like JJ. I was the biggest JJ supporter walking into 2021. Find an analyst writing more on JJ than me. I've got it all over the place. The bold predictions everywhere. I love JJ. But this guy has something JJ doesn't. JJ's got the talent. JJ's going to be in the top 2 or 3. This guy right here has this man throwing him the football. His college football quarterback. The rapport was already built in. It was baked in. The rapport was baked in. And this man right here is protected. Nothing can happen to him. Joey B's got his back. He's going to continue to get better. He's going to be absolutely amazing, and he will be the 1 wide receiver because of his situation that actually garners value that is inside top 5 overall. Do I think you need to go drafting him number 5 overall? I don't think you need to yet. If his ADP climbs anywhere near number 5, you're not going to want to get cute. You're going to want to scoop him up before his ADP. But if his ADP starts around, I don't know, 9 to 14, then why on earth would you take him higher if you don't have to in redraft? In Dynasty, I'm not messing around. I'm drafting him number 3 overall. If I'm in a Dynasty startup, let's take this to the board. If I'm in a Dynasty startup, by the way, I'm changing this right here. I'm going to say we're going Cincy and we're going Buffalo, because this is before the bracket got all worked out. And Tampa, I changed my bracket since then. This is still what I think the Super Bowl matchup's going to be. Cincy versus Green Bay. Green Bay winning it and being a Cinderella story for A-Rod on his way out the door to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What were we talking about? Oh, in Dynasty 2022, my number 1 overall player. Where are we with the timer? I know my timer's gonna jump off here in a second. We're in the rant segment. Oh God, we got like 1 minute left. Let me just verbalize this, because I think we're at 1 minute. I've got JT at number 1, Najee Harris at number 2, and Jamar Chase at number 3. We don't need the marker board for that. Okay, that's my top 3 overall players for Dynasty 2022. JT, Najee. Najee has an argument to be made if Aaron Rodgers lands in Pittsburgh. If he lands in Pittsburgh or Russell Wilson, then you have a strong argument to be made for Najee Harris being equivalent to JT at the 1, like a 1A and a 1B. But it's JT, it's Najee, it's Jamar. That's Dynasty. And redraft, I'm telling you right now, take advantage of his ADP if it's not top 3. Dynasty people are a little bit more in tune with where Jamar Chase is headed. Redraft people are kind of in that, well, we'll see. And Nick saying JT sucks. Nick, take a lap. Take a lap, pal. Come on.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
We are going to the voicemails on Instagram. I hope you loaded my IG voice messages up. I believe maybe some of you did, some of you didn't listen. Some of you didn't understand the assignment. This one's from Senior.
Smitty, what's going on, bro? Smitty, what's going on, bro? Senior Hyphy here, showing love from Cali. First off, I want to say we appreciate you and love everything you do for us in the football fantasy community. All right, so my question is, you have Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh next year. So if that happens, Najee Harris rating going to be high in the draft. But what is that going to do for the wide receivers? You got Chris Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju coming back from injury. Will he be the same? Who knows? And then you even have tight end Patty. So what is that going to do with them in the draft?
Yeah, if you're talking about, let's play this one more time.
Smitty, what's going on,
Not the
bro?
whole thing,
Senior
but
Hyphy here, showing love from Cali. First off, I want to say we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, pal.
Going to be high in the draft. But what is that going to do for Aaron Rodgers going to Pittsburgh?
So, Pittsburgh. Let's talk about A-Rod to Pittsburgh. If A-Rod goes to Pittsburgh, Senior, you're going to have Deontay Johnson potentially ranking in the top 6 overall for wide receivers. Yeah, I would say like 5 to 7. Now, can he stay healthy? That'll be per start. Can he stay healthy? I think that there's questions about him, with drops. There's questions about him potentially being the kind of wide receiver that can stay on the field 17 games. Claypool and Deontay to the moon. Claypool and Deontay could both pull in 1,000 yards under an Aaron Rodgers-led attack. I think Najee Harris is 1 or 2. I think he doesn't pass JT just because JT he had such a great year and was so consistent from the point he started popping off until the very end. So I'm going to put JT 1, but it's like 1A versus 1B if Najee Harris has Aaron Rodgers. Keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers feeds the football to his running back differently than most quarterbacks in the NFL. And you start scoring more touchdowns if you're running the football behind Aaron Rodgers. He'll throw to you, and Najee Harris can clearly catch the football. Probably, I would say Najee Harris has the potential to be the number 1 PPR back in fantasy football if Aaron Rodgers is throwing him the football. He could have that Aaron Jones receiving touchdown and receiving yard production. And with Big Ben, he was a receiving beast. So I think it's very, very possible you're looking at a well over 2,000 yard rusher, which is different than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones was like 1,100 yards on the ground. Najee Harris, even with A-Rod under center in Pittsburgh, the way that Tomlin likes to run the football, he's going to let Aaron Rodgers have his fun and do his thing, but Tomlin will still run the ball. I think there's a really good shot that Harris has, 1,400 yards under A-Rod, under the command of A-Rod, 17 to 20 total touchdowns, and just a monster receiving. I haven't even projected what his receiving numbers would look like. Claypool could be near 10 to 12 TDs. Deontay could have, not Devontae Adams numbers per se, but top 5 to like 7 potential wide receiver numbers per start. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the Pittsburgh Steelers probably win the Super Bowl. I think in year one. I know that sounds bold and kind of crazy, but that's how I feel. Okay, so let's get to some of you guys are sending me text messages. That doesn't work. You didn't understand the assignment. Let's go to the all request folder on Instagram. Go back to the top request folder on Instagram. And yeah, you guys are typing messages. That's not the assignment. Okay. Let me go back to here we go. Silver, where's my message, Silver? Are you serious? Did we really not have another voice message dropped? I have all of you in here, and I am not getting yet another call. All I'm getting are text messages. Hey, Smitty, I want to ask you about this on the show. I'm not doing that. I'm playing voice messages. Where are my voice messages? Cardboard Crew, where's my voice message, pal? Okay. And sometimes it's Instagram. I'm refreshing here. bro. Should I just cancel the voicemail segment? Should I just cancel the voicemail segment? I mean, no IG madness. You need to get on IG, bro. Nick says, Smitty, do you think he'll be the leading rusher in the playoffs? Who do I think? I'm sorry, who do I think? In the playoffs, the whole playoffs? That's a tough one. In the whole playoffs. I mean, because then you gotta try and predict who's gonna get further. Could a team that doesn't have as good of a running back still get more yardage? Hold on.
Hey, Smitty, I know you talk about it a lot, and I believe you. I think CMC and Saquon are done, at least for me in fantasy. They're never going to be what they once were. How do you feel about this? And Zeke Elliott, too. I appreciate all you do. You're a great content creator. Keep it up, man.
Thank you, Lang. I appreciate you, pal. Thanks for dropping the message. I think it's a tough one with CMC. I think Saquon will try and linger, and I think Saquon looks like he's kind of potentially got a lot, not all of it, but a lot of his burst back right now, which is a little late in the game, right? That's why he was a complete avoid. Like, you draft Saquon, your season's over the moment you drafted him. And this is we hammered this home, beat it like a dead horse all offseason. He does look like the burst is coming back. Here's the problem though. I don't think he stays healthy. I think he's prone to injury. There are just certain players that have gotten a certain amount of mileage. Their body can only take so much mileage. Do I think per start he could look good? Do I think if he went to a different offense he could look good? The problem is he's in New York. The problem is they're probably not making a lot of changes. The problem is his offense and situation is garbage, and he's going to be asked to do it all again. And Saquon doesn't say no. Saquon, he's aggressive. It's great in a lot of ways, but he's too aggressive for his own body. You know, people saying that freak ankle injury. It wasn't a freak ankle injury. Watch the play. He ran into his own defender and kept trying to go through him. Stepped on his ankle. Like, look, you can say freak ankle injury all you want. I don't buy into it. The guy's injury prone. He goes 110 miles per hour, and his body can't handle it. He puts himself in vulnerable spots. Rob Gronkowski, I know he's a tight end. George Kittle, I know he's a tight end. These guys remind me of Saquon in terms of sacrificing their body. And I think that Saquon struggles in this offense. Like, if you put him in a different system where he got less work, was more efficient, maybe he figured out a way to squeak out healthy seasons, potentially. But I think in New York, it's a disaster. It's a black hole. You're asking a whole lot of Saquon Barkley to carry everything and put it on his shoulders. I do not believe in Daniel Jones. I don't believe quarterbacks want to go there. I think maybe Deshaun Watson gets traded there or something, but can he even play in 2022? We don't know. Saquon is a must avoid unless his ADP falls to the most extreme place where I have to get on board. But second rounder, forget about it. People are going to be drafting him in the second round, I firmly believe. As for Christian McCaffrey, I think per start, he still got it. We haven't seen his decline talent-wise, but we've seen, like with Saquon, like with other players, that he can't stay on the field. His body's been through way too much. He's still very talented. It's not like Todd Gurley where we saw the decline happen and we're like, oh my God, people aren't understanding. Saquon dropped off. Todd Gurley dropped off. And Todd Gurley, it was clear. With Christian McCaffrey, it's clear in that he can't stay healthy, but his talent's still there. So per start, I believe Christian McCaffrey can still bring it. But he is in Carolina. I don't know that they want to trade him. There are some rumblings about it. They talk about Darnold, that Darnold could potentially be the quarterback again. So it's a disastrous situation potentially where they're going to lean on McCaffrey too much and hurt him again, get him injured. Zeke can't put together 16, 17 games. He can do it in spurts. You'll see Zeke do pretty well, I think, in this Niner game. As good as he can do against that Niner front seven. But I think that ultimately Zeke's days are done as a full-time 16-game guy. He might play 8 games okay, 9 games okay, 4 games, whatever. But avoid Zeke, avoid Barkley at their ADPs. I toy around with McCaffrey in one or maybe just one league, depending on where you can get him. Appreciate that. And let me, hold on.
It's time for fantasy football. Court!
I will play this last message from Jamie.
Hey Schmitty, what are your opinions on Rashad Penny next season? What round do you think we should be drafting him in?
I don't have a.
Towards the end. Is he gonna be Seattle's next running back?
It's a great question, Jamie, and I think it's a question that everybody wants an answer to. So I'm going to give you an answer. And I'm going to go back to the voice messages in random, and I'll attack your question in the random section. We're going to extend the voice messages over. In the Smitty approved segment, this segment's two different things. It's fantasy football court. It's also Smitty approved. So it kind of just depends on what I'm dealing with, what I want to work out. Ask me a question if you want me to debate it here on fantasy football court. But I would say I'm on St. Brown. I want to debate this right now in the court. I want to debate Amon-Ra St. Brown against the wide receivers you see right here. All guys that are very, very close to his value. Let me turn this volume down a little bit. Okay, so all these guys are pretty close to, I think, his value in terms of ADP. Let's go through them from top to bottom. Actually, let's go bottom to top. In 2022, are we crazy to like Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions? Guy beasting out for the last month. Is it crazy to like him over DJ Moore? I asked the audience. Tell me your opinion. But I'm going to rule in favor of Amon-Ra St. Brown ahead of DJ Moore. Ahead, let's put a green check mark here. Boom. I'm going to say I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown over Chris Godwin, who's coming back from injury. At me. I'm going to say that I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown over Hollywood Brown in 2022. At me. I'm going to say that I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown. This one is tough because I do love Elijah Moore. I do love Elijah Moore, but I like St. Brown more. I'm going to say that Mike Evans has a very special place in my heart. And you know what? With Godwin coming back from injury, with AB gone, it's really hard not to put Evans ahead of St. Brown. Only because the touchdown production is there. I'm probably going to say for right now, Mike Evans, if we're talking 2022 only. If we're talking Dynasty, of course, I'm going to go St. Brown. But I'm going to say it's really, really close. Really, really close. As for... Sorry. Evans. Ruling in favor of Evans. Amon-Ra St. Brown over Hopkins. Yes. It pains me to say that. Hopkins, I don't know. We don't know what we're getting. I'm gonna buy into Hopkins in 2022 because I think his value is gonna be so low. People are gonna think he's gone. But I'm definitely gonna say that Hopkins is intriguing, but not over St. Brown. I think St. Brown is better than Hopkins at this point in his career. But could Hopkins bounce back? Yes. And I want to be on board for that if it happens. I want to be there for that. I'm going to draft him probably in more than one league. I don't think Hopkins has a ton of risk at his ADP. He's coming in ADP. He won't be a second rounder. I don't even know if Hopkins could fall to the fourth round. I don't know. Where do you guys project Hopkins to fall? Third or fourth round? Very, very hard to, I think, predict. But I want to be on board for that. Amon-Ra St. Brown over Keenan Allen? Probably not yet, but very, very close to it. Amon-Ra St. Brown over Devontae Smith for right now. But let me tell you something. I love Devontae Smith. I'm going to say for right now. But Devontae Smith is one of my breakouts, but so is St. Brown. St. Brown's a breakout. He already broke out, but he's still going to be on the bold prediction, the breakout list, the guy that's going to, exceed some people's expectations, not everybody's, because some people like him, some people love him. You know what? I'll put a on this Devontae Smith. I'm gonna put both because I feel like they're. I don't know. That'll represent like even. I don't like Devontae Smith more or less. I don't like St. Brown more or less. I probably would rather have St. Brown at this stage, but come August, I could see this being even. So let's put it like almost as a tie. Would I rather have T. Higgins over St. Brown? I'm going to say I'd rather have St. Brown. I know it's really crazy. I love Burrow. I love the Bengals, but I really like St. Brown. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right here, I love St. Brown. Do what you can to take advantage of values. I'm not saying make trades straight up if you don't. Now, this one's tough. Waddle looks really good, but Waddle and St. Brown both look good. What do you guys think? Waddle or St. Brown? St. Brown or Waddle? Tell me what you think. And there's no wrong answers here. St. Brown can be amazing. St. Brown, Waddle can be amazing. Higgins could be amazing. Devontae Smith can be amazing. These are all tightly ranked together wide receivers. So stop with the come on comments or anything like that. You're talking about 2 and 3 and 4 slots away. Give me a break. This is very, very close stuff. Waddle, 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 Waddle. I agree. Okay. Waddle, you are Smitty approved. St. Brown over St. Brown. DK, look, I know DK had a bad year for the most part, but I still believe he's got top 10 wide receiver potential. So let's not get carried away. I love St. Brown, but I don't think you can put him above DK. I don't think you can put him above Deontay. Now, I know some might say Higgins is a little crazy. I know some might say calling Devontae Smith and St. Brown might be crazy. Maybe people like St. Brown way more. I don't know. Hopkins, Keenan Allen. So it's Keenan Allen, Waddle, DK, Deontay. Those are the wide receivers I love in this range. Or I don't love them. I approve them over St. Brown. But past that, I'm signing up for the St. Brown hype. This guy looks phenomenal. Okay. Only disagree about Higgins, says Stormcat. Brown has safer floor than DK. See, everybody's all over the map. People out here with the take a lap. I mean, look at everybody's all over the map. Let's remember, if he's a year older, Goff throwing him the ball. St. Brown or Cooper? Give me St. Brown. Cooper. You see Cooper on this list? Cooper's way down there. Chandler. St. Brown over Waddle for Chris. So let's not get carried away. Everybody's all over the place. St. Brown over DK for Chris. Chris is all in. Russell Wilson to the Dolphins. That could happen. Waddle. Amon is going to hit or miss, says Hall of J Game. He wants a Waddle. I think most people do. I was posing the question, but I think it's people are going to want Waddle. Waddle's got a safer floor. But St. Brown, you've got Hawkinson coming back. Swift was out for a big part of the year. So it's easy to be like, hey, I love St. Brown, but I think Waddle's safer. Waddle's looking good. St. Brown or A.J. Brown? Joseph, A.J. Brown is way above. Not way above, but he's up here, bro. He's way up here. So we're not putting A.J. Brown into this conversation. I screen grabbed a group of wide receivers that are right around St. Brown's value and I know I have them ranked a little higher. So I want people to understand that this is that iffy range where you may or may not grab them. A.J. Brown way over St. Brown. I agree, Stormcat. We got 21 seconds left in this segment. I don't think there's much to say other than, look, you can get behind it or you can watch it happen. I know a lot of people are going to, I think the thing is you don't want to be wrong about missing them, so you want to root against them. There's still going to be a lot of haters. This segment proved it, that there are a lot of people that overlike them and underlike them.
It is time for the speed question and answer segment.
Time for the speed round. We've got 9 straight minutes of me answering your questions in speed round fashion, as fast as you can go. Go. Drake London, St. Brown, go St. Brown. Just checked St. Brown's ADP 72 in 2022 underdog draft. Yeah, I would say it's going to climb a lot higher than that. Hit the like button. I agree with Terry. Hit the like button. Do it now. Higgins is in a much better situation. Absolutely. And you could make that argument for Higgins over St. Brown. It was close, bro. It's very close. I go back and forth, to be honest with you. St. Brown or Thielen? Give me St. Brown. USC guys, that's right, Webb. What do we do with Clyde next year? You worry about Clyde. Okay, you worry about Clyde. This coming from a Clyde believer. I believe in his talent. He's gotten hurt a couple times. Situation doesn't seem to want him to get full workload. Could he rebound off my watch and me be even more upset at him? Absolutely. But right now you got to worry about where you're going to get him. If he falls late in a draft, I take him. But if you got to take him like semi-early, which I don't think you will. So let me repeat. Let me go back a little bit. Back step. I think Clyde could be a value, but right now we got to wait and see if that ADP's there. Like, I'm not going near him in the early rounds anymore because he's been failing us. You adjust and adapt. I'm sorry, Clyde, but I will be back if you are at a low ADP. Kyler value and redraft. Great question, Terry. I'd say right around 5 for quarterbacks. I think there are just too many good quarterbacks. You've got Josh Allen, number 1. You got Joe Burrow, Mahomes, and Herbert as that, like, 2, 3, 4. You could have them any order you want. If you've got Burrow 2, I commend you, because Burrow's my 2 or 3. He's in that 2-3 range. I said Josh Allen would be 1, and that was really bold in January. This time last year, talking about Josh Allen as the number 1 quarterback was laughed at. I'm sure Gary came in here and told me I was drunk. If I have to recall, I believe Gary did came in. He did come in and say I was sipping on Grandpa's old cough medicine. And Gary said I was crazy. Gary, did that happen? Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football. Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert. After that, it really does come down to whether you still like A-Rod for a year, whether you believe in Hurts, whether you like Lamar to bounce back, or whether you think Trey Lance and Kyler are the next 2. Let me tell you something. You're going to find it very crazy that I have Trey Lance at 5 or 6 for 2022 potential quarterbacks. Get ready for it. It's coming. Get ready for it. It's coming. Javonte, top 5 running back. Judy and Sutton, both top 15 wide receivers. I assume you mean if A-Rod lands in Denver. And yes, I believe that we're going to see some explosions happen in fantasy football values for these Denver Broncos if A-Rod lands in Denver. Everything I said about A-Rod landing in Pittsburgh, Najee, Deontay, Claypool, Freiermuth, all go through the roof, to the moon. Same thing happens in Denver. Judy, Sutton, Hamler, obviously Javonte. We'll see what happens with Melvin Gordon, but I think they're moving on. They're just saving Javonte now because they got nothing to play for. Why put all the miles and tread on, take the tread off the tires when you've got, a nothing year, in front of you this last half of the season? Like, it was a meaningless year. So I think Denver just wanted to save him. But top 5 running back numbers for sure, probably no matter what, but definitely if A-Rod is in Green Bay. Pick 3, Kyler, Najee Harris, Lamb, or Terry McLaurin. I love McLaurin, but he hasn't come close to Lamb in my view for future protected and guaranteed value. And Najee Harris, why you putting Najee Harris? Why you disrespecting Najee in this question? You mean pick 2 that you compare next to Najee Harris. And I'm going to go Lamb. I'll probably go Lamb and McLaurin because I think you can get Kyler Murray later. I think you could get Joe Burrow later. I think you could get Herbert later. You could get Trey Lance later. So why not take the wide receiver, I suppose, in that situation? I already got to that question. I have the 3rd pick in a Dynasty rookie draft. Who should I draft? You draft, if JT's gone, you draft Najee. If Najee's gone, you draft Jamar Chase in Dynasty startups mellow. Don't let people scare you into not doing it because you're afraid they're going to laugh and say, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He took a wide receiver number 3 and a rookie. Don't they know that Higgins is still there? Don't they know Higgins is still there? As if Jamar Chase didn't do that with Higgins there. As a rookie with Joe Burrow ready to get better. Thoughts on Davis Mills? I like him, but I'm not ready to call him any kind of like future passer for the I don't know. I like him. He's got some upside, but we'll have to see. Wait and see on him. Rookie draft Smitty. Yeah, we'll be doing rookie stuff very, very soon. I've got the rookie running back rankings on sleeperu.com. Learn about it. Sleeperu.com. Get on over there and check out those rookie running back rankings and analysis. It's got write-ups, everything. Video footage attached to every player. It's phenomenal. Come on, this is supposed to be speed round. Let's drop it. How are we drafting Calvin Ridley? I mean, until we find out he's officially back and we know what's going on. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going near him as a starter, but could he climb back into a wide receiver 2 value? Certainly could. Smitty still feeling going double wide receiver. Terry, I'm best player available no matter what, whether that's wide receiver, or running back. It all depends on the flow of draft. I will tell you, as I've said, because I value wide receivers so much and I'm worried about this running back group outside of the top like 5, top 4 even, that more times than not, the best player available to me will be a wide receiver. So wide receiver will be done more by me this year than I think in years past. So yes, to answer your question in general, yes, but keep in mind it is about best player available still, not necessarily about forcing a pick at a position, but it will just so happen that most of the time, at least one wide receiver will be the best player available in that top 5 to 15 overall. You know what I'm saying, bro? So yes, you are correct in one sense for sure. Debo, early 2nd round, easily. Look, I was a little slower accepting Debo being what he is right now. It took me a little longer to kind of, accept that this wasn't going to be an injury-filled season. He's going to look great, then get hurt. I admit, I had to just see it for a little longer. And Debo, he came prepared this year. And he worked out, got stronger. Dare I say he maybe lost a little speed because he bulked up so much, but it worked out beautifully. He's still unbelievably hard to tackle. He's still got plenty of speed to rip off a monster run. There's no reason this guy can't reduce his speed a tiny bit, his quickness, and get power, because he did. If you look at Debo and his build 2 years ago versus his build right now, he looks like a running back. Debo Samuel, arguably a 1st rounder. You could put Debo at the end of the 1st round and I wouldn't bat an eye. Like at that 10, 11, 12 pick, the turn picks, I'd have no problem in at least 1 or 2 leagues grabbing Debo at the 12, 13 turn. If not 10, 11, 12. I mean, he truly is the MVP of the league, in my opinion. For his team, I mean, give me a break. You take Debo off that Niner roster, they're not even close to the same. Nigel with the super chat says, pick 1, Edmonds, Sanders, Pollard. If you had to draft now for the wild card, give me Pollard. No. I guess give me Pollard. Only because I feel like he's got the better chance of maybe playing 2 games. But that's a tough one, bro. Tough one.
Random topic time.
Alrighty, we are at the random topic portion of the segment, and I told you I'd bring back the voice messages. I'd probably talk a little bit about McCaffrey. So let's hit this. Let's hit the voicemails here.
Hey, Smitty, it's Tanner. I was just wondering who you thought the Giants should hire as their head coach to turn that ship around. Thanks, brother. I appreciate your hard work.
That's a tough one. I'd probably say, like everyone's gonna be after Flores. Everyone's gonna want him. I don't know that they're gonna land him. I think Flores is gonna take a spot like he could go to Chicago, but I think Denver would be a great landing spot for him. We'll have to see. They definitely need somebody that can bring in talent to and attract some players, because I think nothing's going to change in year one. This is going to be a project year. This is why I avoid Saquon Barkley. I don't think things are going to change in year one. So I think it's going to be hard-pressed for them to find the right guy. But we'll see. New York is an attractive place to live. It's an attractive place to coach and play in one respect. But I think players are scared to play there because it feels like a black hole right now. But I think a good coach could help shape that. So we'll have to see. There's still some coach movement going on right now, and I think once we have a good grasp of who is officially available and who's in the running, we can kind of break this down more. But Flores is going to be the lead dog for right now.
Hey, Smitty, it's Tanner again.
Silver, you can still drop it.
Do you think that Tyler Huntley deserves a starting quarterback job?
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, Tanner. I do think he deserves a crack. I think there's a couple teams out there that could really use Huntley's services, and I think people are going to be very, very judgmental over Huntley's last game where he didn't look good. But I think that Silver, you can still drop a voice message real quick, pal. I think he could do well in a situation like, God, let's see, where would Huntley be a good fit? Let's take a look. I would probably say Huntley would be a good fit in. Now, you guys are going to maybe come up my neck here, some of you, because you still believe in Tua. But I think Miami would be a great place for Tyler Huntley. I think another great place, Cleveland. I don't believe in Baker. And, there's talk about Baker being the quarterback next year again. I believe that he would be a good quarterback there. I think that there are a lot of good components and players and personnel there in Cleveland, but they're just not putting it all together. That would be a great spot. I think the Colts would be a very, very good landing spot for Huntley. I think the Texans, I don't want him to go there. I think, if the Raiders lose Carr or something, then obviously, Las Vegas would be a decent spot. I think Denver would be a good location if they don't end up landing Wilson or A-Rod, but I think Wilson or A-Rod will want to go to Denver. I think it's one or the other going to each one of these locations. So Pittsburgh would be good with Huntley, but I think it's going to be A-Rod or Russell Wilson. Detroit would be a good landing spot. Chicago's not going to be in the market. Minnesota potentially, but they seem probably fine with Cousins right now, whether people agree or disagree. Carolina would be a good landing spot for Huntley, especially if Christian McCaffrey did stay. And then if Seattle loses Russell Wilson, running quarterback, Huntley would be a good fit there. So there are a ton of locations that are Huntley's probably the most, I don't know. He could mold and fit into a lot of those offenses, and he's probably going to be a very valuable commodity if they see him the way I do, where I saw a lot of talent. Silver.
Hey, Smitty Silver. Man, I ain't really got any questions right now out of the blue, but I took second place, didn't get the championship, but 10-man league. So I got number 9 and number 12 coming up. So I was kind of thinking maybe one running back, one receiver. I ain't sure what's going to be there. What are you thinking for like a 9 and 12? This would be 9, 12, 29, 32. I'll probably trade. I'm going to trade something up or down one way or the other. We'll always make a lot of trades in that league.
I mean, if people are going to doubt Jamar Chase and he falls to 9, you take him, bro. You take Justin Jefferson. I love wide receivers in that range. I got 11 seconds here. I will say, Kupp, Jefferson, Chase, Debo, double wide receiver wouldn't scare me away one bit. Just make sure you go best player available. You know what I'm saying? Because like if let's say a Javonte falls, and I don't know that he will, I would go wide receiver, running back, but it's always best player available. Guys, this has been a great show. This is episode 2 of the new format, the 1 hour a day show. action-packed Q&A, different topics, timed segments to keep things moving and to keep you entertained and to keep you expecting and wanting more. So I want you to tell your grandmas. I want you to tell everybody about the show. Tweet it out. Facebook it out. Send it to everybody and let them know that we're growing and we're going to take over Fantasy Football 2022. We are Monday through Friday. We are at 7 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday are definitely going to be the live shows. I'm toying around with the idea of the Friday being a potential post-production live premiere where I'm in the chat and I'm live, but I might use Fridays occasionally for that type of thing, or maybe more than occasionally. I'm still kicking it around. I feel like I can provide you really good Friday content in that format and use it for like some really cool segment that I'm live in the chat for and it gets released as a premiere. I'm tempted to toy around with the Friday thing. I might try it this Friday. But we are live Monday through Friday. This show is live right now. You're watching it. I appreciate all of you. And thank you, Austin. Appreciate you, Austin.